4 years. That's how long I already own this car, my first ever car, this VW Golf 5, and what incredible 4 years it has been. I've driven with this car in those 4 years around 60,000 kilometers and crossed 15 different countries with it. Every single country in the north of Europe, excluding Iceland of course, because Iceland is a whole nother adventure which will come in the foreseeable future. But this car has held up so much. Obviously this car has been my daily driver for the most part, because it is actually my only car that I own. So you can see, you know, a lot of dirt along the front, some bird disintegrated something right there. The car is overall very, very dirty. I'm rocking obviously the Nürburgring sticker, but this car has been a trooper, honestly. Just think about it, 15 different countries, 15 countries. And I need to unlock the car first. You can see right here I put the flags of those countries that I visited with this car in the trunk. So you can see Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, Belgium, France, the United Kingdom of Scotland, Luxembourg, Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland and Ireland. And I just want to give you a little recap of what those adventure has been in the last 4 years, because let me tell you, these 4 years has been absolutely incredible. And those adventures I just named, you know, i.e. the island road trip or the Baltic Sea road trip or the road trip to the North Cape, were absolutely amazing, and this car hadn't skipped one single beat. Now, if we rewind about 3 years and a couple of months, I haven't done YouTube back then, but my first road trip I did with this car was from the north of Germany, a short hop via Denmark to Sweden, where I spent a couple of days there. It was around a 5-hour drive, so it wasn't much, and I haven't done YouTube back then. Then the next road trip after this one was from the north of Germany to Jonogroads, Scotland, which was absolutely insane. As I already said, I haven't done YouTube back then, but we covered in this time Netherlands, Belgium, France, the United Kingdom, with Scotland obviously, which was overall I think a 5,000-ish kilometer round trip, which was absolutely insane. Now the next one I did with this car was to Luxembourg. I spent first 2 days at the Nürburgring for Karfreitag 2024, and then I've driven like short 1 and a bit hours to the Luxembourg German border, where you can also see this on my Instagram. I will link this down below, or you can see here now the ad. But yes, these were the 3 road trips I did before I started YouTube. But the first ever YouTube road trip I did was with this car to Norway, where we've driven, which was absolutely insane, in 3 days around 3,200 kilometers, so over 1,000 kilometers a day, via Bergen to the Atlantic Ocean Road, to Trondheim, and then back to Sweden, and then back to Germany, which was insane. The next one after this one was the Cars in the Wild Scandinavia road trip. Cars in the Wild Scandinavia is obviously a road trip based road trip where I try not to sleep in hotels, etc. I try to sleep in tents or in cars. In this case I had a tent with this car, and yeah, we've driven 5,800 kilometers ish thereabouts to the North Cape, which was absolutely insane round trip, where we accumulated the Finnish flag. And after we've crossed Finland, I did the Baltic Sea road trip, which was actually for the growth of my channel really important, and actually helped quite a lot in terms of subscribers, etc, 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 where we've crossed 8 countries in total, obviously Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and then the new ones, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland. But yeah, this was an absolute insane 3,500 kilometer round trip in just short 5 days. And then the road trip after this one, after the Baltic Sea one, was obviously the Ireland road trip. The Ireland road trip was absolutely insane as well, because it was actually the first time that I had to drive on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road, as we do here in, let's say, continental Europe. But yeah, it was absolutely insane, this road trip. And this was around 4,825 kilometers in 7 days-ish, thereabouts. But yeah, this car, as I already said, I've been with this car already to the Nürburgring. This car has done in total 5 laps around the Nürburgring during Touristenfahrten and held up really, really, really good. Now you can see this car has a bit of, you know, I would say war wounds, because I actually use this car. This car is my daily driver, but I think it's overall in quite a good shape. The car has now 213,000 kilometers on the clock, thereabouts. And you can see, yes, I mean, it's dirty, it's very dirty. It's basically covered in dust, and yeah, absolutely insane, this, absolutely insane. And I couldn't be happier, and I said it already 1,000 times, given it's my first car and I've done already so much with it, I will never, never, never sell it. This car has done quite a lot, and I think I will never, never, never take part with it, because it's an absolute beautiful car in my opinion. Obviously the VW Golf 5 is a very controversial car, because I think it looks in the front actually, you know, quite a bit like a Panda, but in the back a little bit controversial, because obviously from the Mark IV, you can see this already, I already talked about that already in the owner's review of this car. But the Mark V is obviously a bit more, let's say, flusher and not so boxy as the Mark IV. And obviously those tail lights are also very, very controversial. I actually think they are okay, but maybe I'm a bit biased given it was my first car, or it is my first car. But I think from this angle it looks quite cool, actually, quite sleek. Now, as I already told you, this car has now 213,000-ish kilometers on the clock. I got the car with 154,000 kilometers on the clock, which means I've driven, you know, 60,000 kilometers thereabouts. My current plan with it is obviously, besides driving with this car to every single country in the European Union, where we are already a good way through. As I already said, we've driven through 15 countries and counting. I want to hit with this car the 308,800 kilometers, because when I crossed the 308,800 kilometers, I actually doubled the mileage of this car, which is absolutely insane, and which makes this car actually, I mean, in my mind, more my car than everybody else's, given I've done the most mileage with it, if this makes any sense. Now, when we open the driver door, you can see obviously the interior, which is very, very plain VW Golf 5. And I already changed a few things. You can see already, I talked about that already in the owner's review as well, but I was in the owner's review a little bit more unbiased, because I wanted to do it as neutral as possible. So I changed this one. This one was quite a bit worn after I got the car, so I changed that, so it looks a bit more OEM plus-ish. And you can see right here in the door, I changed these knobs as well. I changed also this lever, and yeah, I mean, as I already said, this car is in a very, let's say, worn out state, given 213,000 kilometers is currently on the clock. But as I already said, I will never, never, never sell it. And this car has been an absolute insane trooper. A very, very good colleague, if you can call it colleague. A very trusty mode of transport, if you can say that. I have a bond to this car. I will never sell this car because, well, it's my first car, and I talked about that already quite a lot. I actually really like this car. Now, one, let's say, negative point about this car is, you can see it's only a 3-door configuration and not a 5-door configuration, which is, you know, when I have colleagues or friends in this car. Maybe a bit, stressful, or let's say inconvenient, but it is overall quite a beautiful car, I think. The amount of fuel I put in this car, what in those 4 years, absolutely insane as well. See, given I've driven 60,000 kilometers, I spent around 5,500 euros in fuel with it, on it, which is absolutely insane. But if you consider it 60,000 kilometers, 5,500 euros over 4 years, it's a little bit over 1,000 euros every single day, and it wouldn't obviously be so high when I wouldn't do the road trips I did with this car, which obviously like absolutely spiked the fuel consumption with it. This was just a very, very quick 4-year update here in the beautiful German countryside with this, my first ever car, and a car that I will never, never, never ever sell. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Alright, peace.